Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inappropriate Movie Database, the comedy game show about content warnings. I'm your host, Nick Martucci. Thank you so much for clicking on whatever link led you here. I'm so happy you're here, whether you're here now or sometime in whatever future exists in the future. I'm happy you're watching some dumb little YouTube game show. I'm so thrilled for this one. Before we get to it, if you're new here and you're not a part of the Facebook group, you should go over there right now. If you search Inappropriate Movie Database or click the link in the description of this video, that is like the community of this and where I book the show for the most part. And there's still a couple of episodes left in July with spots available. So if you want to be a part of the show, I would love to have you on. Go right now. You'll see a booking post pinned right to the top of the page. There's a spot still open this coming Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're doing movies based on true stories. And then next Thursday...
That's the other one I signed up for.
No, that's okay. I'm not talking or anything. And next Thursday, we're doing movies about or starring animals. There's still a spot open on there. And the month is coming to an end, so I'm going to start booking for August soon. So if you want to be a part of any of that, go right there. Also, if you're not on Facebook, if you're smart and you make good decisions, maybe you're on Twitter or Instagram. Go to at IMDb Game and reach out to me on one of those. Like I said, I just love having new people on this show. I want to keep building it up. We've been doing this for over a year now, and it's amazing that people still do this, including some real great, funny people tonight. I'm so thrilled about this. It's some old favorites joining us. Let's bring them in. Joining me on the show tonight are Doug Fitzgerald, Sammie James, Marty Viscosi, and Tyler Durniak. Hey, everybody.
Hi, Nick.
Hello.
That's the only time I'll accept being called old. I will fight it tooth and nail every other time.
Also, I know that I brought you all in, and now I'm not going to talk to you for another 45 seconds. Because I didn't mention tonight, the topic of the show tonight is movies based on books. I had a hard time explaining last week's 2 episodes, so I wanted a real easy one for tonight. It's movies that are based on books, and that's it.
How do you define a book? Does a play or a comic count?
Plays don't necessarily count. For comic book movies, they have to be based on a specific graphic novel or group of graphic novels. It's not just going to be like, hey, Batman's based on Batman.
How do you feel about novellas and or poetry collections?
I'm going to say that I didn't put enough research in it to know if some of those didn't come through. So if they come through, I'm sorry. You can argue with me. I'm probably wrong, but for the next hour and a half, I'm right.
I'm just hoping my favorite movie's buried in there somewhere. I'm hoping for it.
Well, let's bring you all in now. That the last person to speak, I'll talk to him first because he's right at the top of my screen. Welcome back to the show, Doug Fitzgerald. Hey, Doug.
How's it going, buddy?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
I feel like your background's a little different than what I'm used to.
It's a little
still
different,
you, but
it's still me. But I was just kind of like, you know what? Who do I want over my shoulder that I trust to protect me at all times and whisper the answers in my ear? Nothing but myself. If I could clone myself, I would definitely do so. And then use him as a body pillow to cuddle at night.
Well, perfect. I mean, if there's 2 of you, then you have to win tonight. It's cheating.
Exactly.
How you feeling about this topic?
I'm feeling great because 2 of my favorite movies of all time are based on books. So,
do you want to share either of those, or do you want to share a third one that you don't worry about burning?
I will share none of them. I'm going to keep them close to my chest.
I mean, I ask on every episode for people to suggest movies based on the topic, and you might be the first one to flat out refuse.
No,
So that's fun.
No, I'm gonna try my poker face.
Well, Doug, welcome back to the show. Also returning to the show, it's I believe third show in a row that they're on, and I'm so thrilled that they keep coming back to this. Also, the second time I'm noticing right now, the only one of us in the Midwest and the only one visually representing the East Coast. Marty Viscosi's back on the show. Hey, Marty.
Hello. I'm gonna say the same thing I said last time, that when I moved out here, I had like maybe one or two things that said Boston on them, and then like little by little after I moved out here, I started accidentally collecting them for nostalgia's sake, and now I own a concerning amount of things that say various Massachusetts towns on them. But yeah, I am glad to be here and hoping very much to do better than the last time I was on.
Yeah, you've had an interesting couple of shows, but now we are moving away from sequels. How do you feel about movies based on books?
Here's the thing: I thought I was good at sequels. I'm like cautious, but very happy to be here.
Well, that's fair. Is there one that you think that people should see? Maybe one that doesn't get talked about enough, or do you want to plead the fifth like Doug?
I will take every opportunity to talk. I don't know if this counts, but The Celluloid Closet, which is a documentary about queer movies and like the Hays Code kind of going up through the like mid 80s ish, is one of my absolute favorite movies of all time, and it's based on a book by Vito Russo that is very good as well. I have both like 15 feet from where I'm currently sitting, the book and the movie.
I love that choice. It's interesting to grab a documentary based on a book.
Listen, the Methuen Library has a copy of it for some reason, and like they don't have a copy of like anything else gay, but they have a copy of The Celluloid Closet. So if you're in the Merrimack Valley, go get yourself The Celluloid Closet.
It's been on my list for so long. I really just need to sit down and watch it.
I absolutely love it.
Well, thank you for coming back. Also returning to the show. Also has done this show so many times, and every time she's wonderful. Sammie James back on the show. Hey, Sammie.
Hey.
Hey, Sammie.
How you doing tonight?
I'm okay. I'm tired, but I'm okay.
Now, have I spoken to you since you did the your last run of your hack and slash show?
No, and the premiere has happened. So
How did that go?
It was good. Listen, I wish more people would have been there, but I'm getting paid, so it's fine.
I mean, that's the most important thing. I assume you're going to keep running it, right?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna work on it. The goal is to debut it, but as a full, and it's the hours there. It just needs. It's gonna debut sometime in October, and then I'll figure out if people want to see it. I'll bring it to them. I don't know.
I mean, I can now vouch for it now that I've seen at least a cut of it. It's excellent. It's so good. And I'm so happy that you have that. So if you are in that area, or if you do it online, go and see this show.
Yeah. Listen, it was a couple just queer horror dorks and nerds, and like that's who should have been. It was just a dozen total horror nerds, and I'm just like, great.
So back to the topic, is there a movie based on a book that you think people should see?
So I got two. Marty made me think of another documentary based on a book. If you haven't seen Horror Noir, you need to see it. It is fantastic. It is based on a book. about the history of Black people in horror movies and Black horror. It's fantastic. I will also, anytime, if there is a movie that you need to see instead of having anything to do with the book, it is Forrest Gump. Because that book is trash.
I would argue then that the movie's a good adaptation.
It's like, listen, I don't completely disagree.
The people who love it love that movie, and I've learned to stop trying to take the other side of it.
Yeah, just don't. Yeah, don't.
Like, honestly, as a kid, loved it. As an adult, I'm just like, it's fine. They're two completely different stories, I'll tell you that.
But going back, I will definitely second horror noir. It's excellent, and also a great resource of then adding more movies to your list to see.
He becomes a pro wrestler in the book. Sorry.
What?
It's fucking bonkers.
Why did they not film that? I would love to see Tom Hanks doing a body slam. That would have been great.
I mean, in the sequel, he meets Tom Hanks.
What?
In the sequel to the Forrest Gump book, he meets Tom Hanks because he's upset that they made a movie about him.
Jesus, oh my God.
I really can't tell if you're kidding or not.
No, it's called Gump and Co. It's the only thing I know about it.
Oh, I've heard of this.
Yeah. The first line is something like, "Don't ever let them make a movie about your life."
I mean, fair, but wow.
But no, horror noir is great. I will second that. Also, finally, long overdue return to the show. He popped up on the 100th episode, but hasn't been on the show proper in like 35 to 40 episodes because he has been killing it lately. He's now the host of the Garbage Mic on Wednesdays at the Model Cafe in Alston. He just started teaming up with other Boston comedy nice boy Matt Shore, friend of the show, to produce shows. So I'm so happy that he finally decided to come back on this one. Tyler Durniak's back. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, great to be here.
I kept is it bad? Like, I want to clear this off the top. I feel like the last couple of times I've been way too mean to you on this show, and maybe that's why you decided not to come on for like 40 episodes. So I'm trying to drop that because I think you're a good person and a great comic, and I'm so happy that you're thriving right now.
I'm honestly slowly moving towards a panic attack. I'm not used to this much niceness happening towards me. It's not.
Yeah, it's the next tactic I have. Now I'm gonna ruin you with kindness.
Oh God, I'm unprepared.
How you been? I haven't seen you in a while.
I've been all right, you know. So I finally gave in and put my air conditioner in, this week. So I'm feeling real excited about my sweat prospects over the next couple of days.
It's a good way to lose weight.
Yeah.
It's about to be awful. But then how is that any different than any of the other awful? It's just another kind of awful added to the awful.
Yeah, but it's an awful where you're also just sopping wet.
That's true. How are you feeling about books about movies? Movies based on books. We got a whole different show happening now. It's all
just for I have my own topics. I'm doing a different show.
We just have like novelizations of all your favorite movies.
Yeah, no, if we're going like
Gremlins.
Yeah. We were talking a lot about great documentaries that are based off of books. Definitely Passion of the Christ is a great documentary based off a book. Just really, I'm glad they used so much archival footage in that one.
I really do like all of God's cameos in that movie where he tries to kill Jim Caviezel.
My sorry, I was trying to figure out a way to do God, but as what's his name, Stan Lee, just popping up in the back of movies.
As far as you know, he does do that in every movie.
That is true. God is one of us, and he has a lot of IMDb credits. Like, let's just put that out there. God is in SAG. Like, that's.
He must spend 30 minutes just depositing royalty checks at the
Well,
bank.
I think God has direct deposit.
No, God's old school. God
God's
wants to go. He wants to hand him individually to the teller.
Yeah.
I hear he uses PayPal.
All right, well, that has been our show. Have a good night, everybody.
I need more beer.
How come we haven't done just a Bible episode, just an all God episode?
Kirk Cameron's only made like 8 movies.
We will
There's
get.
other ones.
I had to watch all of them in high school.
There's
I
the
watched
cabin
all of them
one.
in theology class in high school. Put me in, coach.
Bring
Left
it.
Behind.
Yeah, I mean, if I ever did a Bible
Fireproof?
episode, I feel like Marty might have to host that.
It's what is it?
I want to win.
Last Temptation of Christ. Show us some
Yeah.
William Dafoe penis. Come on.
That is the problem, is not enough Christ-based movies have Willem Dafoe's dong in it.
Exactly.
Yeah, only like 7
Popular
do.
belief.
Only Passion of the Christ and Antichrist, as far as I know. In Antichrist, it's a stunt dick because his dick is too big.
I do need you to know today when I was spiraling out about what a book is, I was like, is Passion of the Christ based on a book?
It is.
Like,
It's in a book.
here's
Yeah.
the thing.
Technically,
I
it's
was
based
so
on a play based on a
disappointed,
book.
so disappointed that movie has been used within the last few months because I thought about adding that to it. But unfortunately, we used it on our Mother's Day episode.
for famous moms.
Uh-huh.
I won that episode.
Yeah, Sammie beat my mom on that episode.
Yeah, and not at the game. It was just brutal.
No, just be back in the alley afterward. And
have to go
honestly,
back and
she
watch
I'm
that.
deserved
glad, I'm glad we can still be cool after that.
It was a setup the whole time.
This is going to be a fun one. Thank you all for being here. You all know how this game works. If this is your first time watching, here's what's going to happen. I have gone to IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, and I have pulled parental warnings for a bunch of movies based on books. Frankly, too many movies. This list is too long, and I got rid of about 30 movies that at least one of you has already played. And it's still like a 70 movie list. These parental warnings, I don't know who writes them. I'm happy they do because they have provided just wonderful, wonderful moments. These are awful people and I love them. I'm going to read these parental warnings. My friends here are going to try to figure out what movie these clues are from. And unless anybody wants to add anything else, I think it's time to jump into the game. And to do that, Doug, I'm going to go to you first.
Oh boy.
Would you like a movie based on a book from 1995, 2001, or 2017?
This is when the movie came out?
This is when the movie came out, yes.
What was it again?
95, 2001, or 2017?
Let's go 95.
95.
I'm gonna get one of these movies from when I was working in Blockbuster.
I mean, not a terrible strategy. First movie up the night from 1995, based on a book for 5 points, under the category of violence and gore. A man is rude towards his wife. Under violence and gore, a man is rude to his wife.
What? That's the violence and gore?
It's one of the notable aspects of it. For 4 points under the category of sex and nudity, A servant girl masturbates with a candle inside a bathtub, but it is only implied. She undresses, bare breasts and buttocks are seen, then she enters the bathtub. And don't forget, a man is rude to his wife. For 3 points under violence and gore, a madman has half of his head inside a dead deer's belly while dancing. Some blood is seen.
I don't think my Blockbuster had this movie.
Was this not one you were playing for the folks?
No, this isn't one we had on the previews. I was just playing on the wall. We did.
Wait, was this a home movie?
Oh yeah, no, this is based on my diary.
Well, I've 100% seen this movie.
No, it's the other movie that this happened in.
Okay. I've seen that one too.
Oh no.
For 2 points under sex and nudity, a man and a woman make love. The scene is romantic and not explicit. This adultery causes the woman's pregnancy. She is later seen giving birth. All right, we're going to the 1-point clue on the first movie.
Jeez.
For 1 point under sex and nudity, one of the movie's main themes is cheating. The focus of the story is the passionate and forbidden relationship between a married woman and a reverend. There aren't any explicit details, but sexual contents are present, as well as several scenes of nudity. We have 2 hands up. Anybody else?
Can't think of the name.
I have not seen this Jesus movie.
Doug, what do you think this movie is?
I feel like I'm wrong, but it's only 1 point. The Crucible.
Tyler, what do you think?
Oh God, I can think of the name of the author. It's Nathaniel Hawthorne, and I'm blank because all I can think of is Easy A, which is the more recent adaptation of this exact movie.
That's what I meant to say.
Which is they got the adultery lady.
He's just dragging it out.
Fuck!
Yeah.
He's just dragging it out.
Right?
He is dragging it up.
I'm correct. It's called Alan Wake.
This makes me want to ask Marty what the movie is. I don't normally do that.
Hey, I'm mad because I know it now, but I'm being good.
I think I have to be fair.
I'm
Tyler
taking
did
it.
give a lot. To be extra fair, I will take a point away from Tyler for doing that. So you can consider that a point earned for the 2 of you. It is not The Crucible. It is Nathaniel Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter.
Oh. I knew it had something to do with the letter.
That is a wild adaptation.
After I said The Crucible, I'm like, no, that isn't it. Oh.
Okay, I actually
Moore.
haven't seen that movie, but
As I said, you saw the other one where that happened.
Sammy,
which apparently is true.
Sammy,
My mom's an English teacher, and I do not remember talking about anybody masturbating with a candlestick in front of my mother.
Sammy, anytime you say that you're definitely sure you've seen a movie, you have never seen the movie. If there's one thing I've learned doing the show too.
Sammy's never seen a movie in her entire life.
Well, we are off to
moving pictures.
We're off to a great start.
I'm still waiting for someone to explain to me what a movie is.
Marty and Sammy both in first place with 0, Doug and Tyler at -1 each.
Maybe just cut later to Sammy sitting in a giant auditorium and the train movie's happening. She's just sprinting out.
Train's that better not hit me.
Yelling at people.
So lifelike.
Marty, would you like a movie from 1966, 2006, or 2012?
2012.
From 2012 for 5 points under the category of profanity. In a pre-credit scene, there is a brief slang use of ginger.
Wow. I don't think my mom let me watch this movie.
Huh.
For 4 points under sex and nudity, a woman tells a man that she would rather visit a gynecologist than kiss him or watch a movie. Tyler has a guess. Anybody else? Tyler, for redemption, what do you think this movie is?
Is this Angus Thongs and Perfect Snogging?
This is not Angus Thongs and the Perfect Snogging,
Oh.
a movie which surprisingly has been used on the show by Liz Esty when she hosted. For 3 points under sex and nudity, at a radio station, the manager meets a new male and female interns and tells them not to have sex on his desk. See Tyler and Marty, but no longer Marty.
Change my mind.
What year is this?
2012.
Nope.
Okay, Tyler, do you know this time?
Is this The Boat That Rocked?
This is not The Boat That Rocked.
Just going through all like late 2000, early 2010s British and Australian movies.
Is it because ginger?
Yeah, exactly, because ginger.
For 2 points under sex and nudity, at a singing audition, the MC announces that using music to handle sexual confusion will not work, as he wiggles his fingers around his groin area.
Huh.
All right, Tyler, what have you got this time?
Is it Pitch Perfect?
That's not British. But it is based on the book by Mickey Rapkin. This is Pitch Perfect.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, I was never gonna get that.
No.
So I'm back to my -1.
Everybody got 0 points in that round, but Tyler worked real hard for his 0 points.
I gotta watch more Rebel Wilson, I guess.
Eh.
This is
That's my only takeaway
Okay.
from tonight.
It's
I
the best of
am
the
Lloyd
three,
Legacy
but-
sharping this game. Have fun, everyone.
Final clue under violence and gore, a female a cappella group drinks blood at an initiation. It's just punch. A man throws a sundae and a burrito onto an overweight woman on the street from out of a tour bus, and the woman yells, quote, "Help, I've been shot," while another woman licks some of the food off of the first woman's face. A woman says that she has vocal cord nodules and needs surgery, and we later see her in the hospital bed receiving her release from the hospital. All the scores remain the same. Sammie, we're going to go to you. Would you like a movie from 1982, 1998, or 2013?
What was the first one?
82.
I'll take that.
All right. From 1982, for 5 points under sex and nudity, when a woman gets dressed after a shower, her breasts are out and fully visible for several seconds throughout.
I know this movie because I'm pretty sure I paused that scene a lot.
You showed this one at Blockbuster, I think.
I'm pretty sure.
Just
For
the
4
freeze
points
frame.
under violence and gore, a woman straddles a man's neck in a fight and attempts to choke him with her thighs. She spins his head around and slaps it multiple times, but then lets him go.
I feel like I'd remember this movie.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen this movie.
That's,
If not, I'm gonna add it to my list later.
Is this one also based off a Nathaniel Hawthorne book?
This is also the Scarlet Letter.
This is the Headless Horseman, and that's how we got
Directed by-
Headless.
Directed by John Woo.
For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, the film is very dark and depressing, and there's a growing sense of paranoia throughout. For 2 points, under profanity, fucker is heard. In the final cut, it has been replaced by father.
Those are different
How is that
sentences.
better?
For some people, it's the same.
I mean, yes.
All right, final clue for 1 point under sex and nudity. A male human kisses a male replicant. His creation can be uncomfortable since there is a sort of father-son relationship implied. See, everyone but Marty. Marty's also going to take a guess. Marty, what do you think this movie is?
The Fly.
Sammie, what do you think?
Blade Runner.
Doug, what do you think?
It is Blade Runner
my
based on
mind.
the Philip K.
Tyler?
Dick novel.
It's Blade Runner.
Based on Do Androids Dream of
Dream
Electric
of Electric
Sheep?
Sheep.
Philip K. Dick, Blade Runner.
I have a point.
Yeah, me too. Is this what it's like to score?
I mean, kind of. That
Oh.
brings Doug and Tyler both up to 0. Sammie's at 1, Marty's at -1.
Yeah.
This is how you win a game.
Tyler, would you like a movie from 1976, 1987, or 2013?
Let's do 76.
76. From 1976 for 5 points under sex and nudity. A man asks a colleague, quote, "You think he said it to impress you to get you think he said it to impress you to get you to go to bed with him?" A male colleague asks.
Huh.
For 4 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, one of the main characters smokes in almost every scene he's in.
That could be any movie in 76.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was very
figure
unhelpful.
I figure that's a requirement for every actor on
That's
screen.
bad.
It's the 10 Commandments.
Yep.
For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes. The mood of the film is suspenseful and tense. There's no actual violence portrayed, but many characters are portrayed as being under great stress and feeling fearful. And it's not Blade Runner. We already did Blade Runner.
Said 1976, right?
76.
Okay.
For 2 points under frightening and intense scenes, it's strongly implied that some of the people questioned are being threatened by an outside force if they reveal any information. For 1 point under frightening and intense scenes, there is some tension in some scenes as characters meet people who believe they are under surveillance, as well as during some secret meetings.
Huh.
Doug's going to take a guess. Anybody else? Doug, what do you think this movie is?
Is it George Orwell's 1984?
It is not George Orwell's 1984. We are doing real bad tonight, and I'm going to take some of the blame. Not all of it, but some of the blame.
Should you have read books for this?
Yeah.
This is based on a book by the same name by Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein
God damn it.
called All the
All the
President's
Kids'
Men.
I was just about to do the Scarlet Letter thing again and just explain every part of what was happening. I'm like, I know it's Watergate.
It's the more serious version of the movie, Dick.
Mhm.
I was almost going to say Deep Throat because that was the name of the dude, the informant, and then also the name of a movie, but that movie did not have anything to do
That was also based on a book, a real graphic book.
Oh. Oh no. It was based on the Very Hungry Cat.
I just read that to my work kids yesterday.
Wrong time to drink water.
Sammie,
the worst way to die.
from drinking water by getting deep throated by a hungry caterpillar. I don't know which.
Tyler also had that book read to him yesterday.
Yeah, I used it. I used my free Audible download for it.
Also, Josh Pick would like you to know that the shame isn't mine; it's all of you. So know that Josh Pick is laughing at you right now.
Josh Pick would know a lot about shame. So,
Sammie, you're at 1. Tyler at 0. Doug and Marty at -1. It's kind of anybody's game.
I'm somebody.
I've read so many books.
Doug, would you like a movie from 1999, 2002, or 2010?
Let's go 99.
99. From 1999 for 5 points. Sammie's already got her hand raised, which is weird because I can think off the top of my head at least 5 movies that fit this.
Oh, I know.
For 5 points, under profanity, 1 quick use of the C word as a voiceover by a female student.
Huh. That fits with my guess. It's I don't remember it, but it fits. And
I want to hear this guess.
listen, you're gonna see a lot of different Sammie strategies tonight.
We all want to see this guess, Sammie. What's your guess?
Girl Interrupted.
That would kind of fit, but it is not Girl Interrupted.
It's a good guess.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Wow. Oh, bye. Enjoy my 0 being the winning score. I'm done.
Hop aboard the shame train.
For 4 points under sex and nudity.
Here we go.
Lying on her bed, teen girl sensually kisses her girlfriend and claims to be in love with her. No nudity.
Okay, so now I know I've seen this movie.
Come on, Marty, between the 2 of us.
No! Where the maggots at?
For 3 points, this is a little longer under sex and nudity. There are several sex scenes, some of which are played for laughs. There's one on a bed with thrusting and breathing. In an attempt to conceive, a husband and wife have both missionary and rear entry sex. Thrusting is shown. Nudity only includes man's chest. To make up for lack of arousal, he fantasizes about other women. Another time portrays oral sex. There is no nudity in the scene, and the act is never spoke. But what's happening is clear. Some of the scenes involve teen students. I have 2 hands up. Anybody else? All right, Doug, what do you think this movie is?
The forever immortal and never controversial Kevin Spacey starred vehicle, American Beauty?
Tyler, what do you think this movie is?
American Beauty.
I am never going to use American Beauty on this show. I just need people to know that that's not going to happen. Also, don't know if it's based on a book, but
I was like uncomfortable for a second. I'm just like, bro.
No,
is it based on that book by Nabokov?
Yeah, the old man starts to shake and cough.
Yeah, and all her friends are so jealous.
Can you believe that song exists? Like, is a radio hit, and he rhymes shake and cough with Nabokov. That's completely tangent. Let's go to the 2-point clue. Under violence and gore, a girl gets some bloody cuts on her arms after she tears down some posters, and a man's eye is very swollen after a bee stings him. We see 2 cups of urine and a man urinating with the urine stream visible. Someone spits on a car and a man throws a drink in a car.
Huh.
That was not ordered in like levels of intensity at all.
It wasn't ordered in
Oh, no.
any way.
That
It
poor
was
car.
train of thought. Can you write down everything you remember from this movie? Oh yeah, a girl gets some bloody cuts.
Huh.
All right, let's see if this helps anybody, like we've been doing with most of these movies, for 1 point. Under profanity. Also, a main character's last name is Flick, which is spelled out over the movie, purposely written with the letter L and I close together to make it look like the F word.
Huh.
Really? I guess none of. Oh, okay. Doug's gonna take a guess.
I'm
Doug, what do
probably
you
wrong.
think?
I'm probably wrong
That means you're right.
because I'm, I gotta represent for Josh Pick and get the low score here. Let's say American Pie.
It is not
based on a book,
American
right?
Pie. It does feature American Pie star Chris Klein, by a book by Tom Perrotta. This is Election.
Oh my god! Oh, and I
Pick
love that
Flick.
movie too.
Oh my god,
It
I
is
had to add that to my list.
That movie's
There's
phenomenal.
some stuff in that movie that does not hold up, but
No,
some
Maybe
of it,
not then.
but some of it really holds up.
though the same can be said for if you watch UHF nowadays. I watched it the other day and I'm like, that can't be done.
Yep.
That can't be done now.
If you do want to see Matthew Broderick suffer, it's a good movie for
Always.
that.
Yeah,
But,
now all
the-
that other stuff lines up.
The last time I watched this movie was on election night in 2016, and boy, was that a sad movie to turn off and then see how things are going. But Reese Witherspoon, amazing in that movie. Chris Klein's amazing in that movie.
I've seen this movie.
I could have figured because you didn't think you had seen it.
Yeah.
Wow, we've had 3 zeros so far out of 5 movies.
Woo!
Yeah, Sammie, you're in the lead with 0. Marty and Tyler at -1. Doug at -3.
We check in with Josh Pick for commentary.
Lowest winning
Pick.
score.
That's
Winning
I
score.
the lowest winning score I think is 2. So you can beat that.
Wow.
Oh, I'm hoping for winning with -1. Listen, I love all of you. You're all fantastic.
All right,
I'm
Marty.
just going by how this has gone. So far.
I'm not here for the win. I'm just here for the love.
Yeah. I'm willing to lowball it so Sammie can win with a negative score if we're all on board for that.
Wait,
I don't think I need to
Am I
try
dying?
to lowball it.
This is the worst Make-A-Wish. You get to win a game terribly. Marty,
My wish is to be on a fledgling internet show.
excuse me, we are thriving.
Wow.
I'll see you again in 40 episodes. Marty, would you like a movie from 1932, 1979, or 2008? Also, Pick would like you to know that you're all heroes. 32, 79, 08.
I'm gonna do the thing that didn't work for me last time and do the most recent one, 2008. I love a repeated mistake.
All right, 2008.
My
For
mom
5
calls me.
points under frightening and intense scenes. Some scenes can be very emotional, which may distress certain viewers. The ending scene in the pool is particularly intense.
2008.
There's a pool.
For 4 points under violence and gore, bullies nick a boy across the face with a horsewhip, and we see the scratch is bloody. Sammie might know what this movie is. That's the most excited I've seen anybody buzzing tonight.
Very animated.
Sammie, what do you think this movie is?
See, I'm really I don't want to say the wrong one because then I've given it to everyone. And it is, I'm gonna say it is based on the book Let the Right One In.
I'm gonna need you to tell me what the title of this movie is.
Let the Right One In. It's Let Me In, isn't it?
No, it's Let the Right One In.
Okay.
That's
By
right.
John Ajvid Lindquist. I'm realizing right now, as bad as I am reading English words, I might also have to pronounce non-English author names, and I've made a terrible mistake, is all I can say. But yes,
that book is fucked up.
Finally, we got some points on the board.
Yeah. As soon that is a movie that is carved into me.
It's
in a book.
It's a wonderful movie. Like, I hate most vampire movies, and this is one of my favorite movies.
And we're different people.
Oh, yeah.
Also, in Let the Right One In, under violence and gore, the violence throughout the film is bloody, but not very graphic. In one scene, 3 boys are murdered, implied, not shown, and afterward we see a severed arm and head, as well as the bloody bodies of the boys. Profanity, 5 uses of fuck. However, this might vary depending on the translation and the subtitles. In the UK version, not dubbed, but with theatrical subtitles, there are 3 uses. Other milder terms, such as hell, are occasional. And violence and gore, covered in blood, the vampire walks up to a boy and kisses him, consensually. Blood is seen on the boy's mouth afterwards.
I go ahead and add that to my list too.
Oh, have you not? Oh, you will love this one.
I have not.
You are in for a treat.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
I bet.
Sammie, you're now at 4, so you're really failing this goal.
Oh, don't worry. I'm giving you some great guesses for the next one.
Marty and Tyler at -1, Doug at -3.
Yay, I'm winning in a way. This is for you, Lloyd.
Sammie, would you like a movie from 1926, 2009, or 2014?
1926.
Sounded very sad.
I mean, you all should. 1926 for 5 points. We've been doing so well tonight. I think it's time to slow things down a little bit.
Ooh.
5 points under violence and gore. The main character nearly shoots himself in the foot.
Huh. That's not what I was going to say it was. This is not Picture of Dorian Gray.
Tyler, what do you think this movie is?
Huh.
Is this oh god. Captain York? Colonel York? York man, World War I. Didn't want to fight in World War I.
This is not. I think Sergeant York is
Sergeant
the movie that you're
York.
trying to think of. It is not that. For 4 points under frightening and intense scenes, a dam breaks, threatening many men in the river. For 3 points under violence and gore, occasional mild slapstick violence, such as a young man being kicked out of the door, a man falling off a derailing handcar, a man falling off a bicycle, and people being soaked by massive gushes of water, played for laughs. For 2 points, under frightening and intense scenes, many risky scenes of men clambering about aboard speeding trains, including a man performing a very dangerous stunt while riding atop a cow catcher.
Wow, the 20s were wild.
All right, for 1 point and probably 0 points.
So many
violence
people
and gore.
died making movies in that
Yeah,
decade.
they did. Well, it's happened
Under
to the mob
violence
runs for
and
movies.
gore, a mildly intense Civil War battle is fought at the end.
Oh, never mind. Maybe. No. Oh,
Hold on,
I'm going
he's
to
checking
just,
Google.
I'm going to just guess right now, Tyler. Keep your hand down. Because it's not that movie, and that's another movie I probably will not use on the show. This is the Buster Keaton classic, The General.
oh, that's based on that insurance book.
Apparently, it's based on 2 books, Daring and Suffering, A History of the Great Railroad Adventure, and The Great Locomotive Chase.
Oh.
Yeah, a movie that's real weird when you find out that Buster Keaton's character is a soldier in the Civil War for the Confederacy.
Like Twilight.
Oh boy, this game.
That's another movie with vampires that came out in 2008.
That's true. Sammie, you're at 4. Marty at -1, Tyler at -2, Doug at -3.
I'm due for a comeback, though.
I think so.
I mean, maybe not on this show, but in
just
general.
in general. We all could use a
believe in
win. Where are we? Tyler, would you like a movie from 1927, 1999, or 2017?
Let's do 2017.
Oh my God. Was I the only one so afraid of what you were saying?
Why? What did I? 2017?
Yes, because 27 was one of the years, and you said 2017.
Oh.
I thought we were going to do another movie from the 20s, but luckily we're doing a movie that came out in the last 5 years.
Okay.
Nick, you're in control. You can give us easy ones.
Nick has never been in control of this.
Not really.
Show.
Not really.
I have to respect some of
You could
these.
give us Twilight.
I don't know
an
if I
all
could.
Twilight episode.
Yeah.
All right, 2017 for 5 points under sex and nudity. There is no male nudity in this movie for the enjoyment of female viewers.
Wow. Wow.
That's something that somebody decided to write down on the internet.
Oh my God.
Marty, what do you think this movie is?
50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, that is a good guess. It is not 50 Shades of Grey.
There's no peen in that movie? I'm shocked.
No.
We had to make a no 50 Shades of Grey rule in the Andover YMCA's little free library.
For 4 points under frightening and intense scenes, the beginning of the film pretty much gives you an idea of how violent the film is going to be. But as it goes on, the violence escalates to a higher level. Does that sentence make sense? No, not even a little bit. The beginning of the film pretty much gives you a good idea of how violent the film's going to be, but as it goes on, the violence escalates to a higher level.
Yeah.
But it really pretty
Wow,
much
I did
gives you a
not
good
know
idea.
the John Wick movies were based on a book.
For 3 points under profanity, 54 uses of fuck and its variations, several uses of shit and asshole, 1 use each of dick and damn, a few uses of Spanish insults like pendejo, cabrón, and puta, which non-Spanish speakers won't understand.
I love the dedication. They counted all those out.
Because he's not on the episode right now, I always have to repeat Josh Poirier. He did video games, and somebody counted all of the fucks in the cutscenes of Grand Theft Auto.
Wow. That was a choice.
For 2 points under violence and gore, 2 characters' retractable metal claws are used to slash and kill their enemies. Just one of you.
Huh.
Tyler, what do you think this movie is?
It's Logan. Logan.
Based mostly on Old Man Logan by Mark Miller and Stephen McNiven, it is Logan.
Yeah. That's I thought I was like
Wow.
I was like there has to, I was like no, I don't know. I was just wondering like is that a book? Like are we calling it a book? Are we calling it a book? Are we calling it a book?
That little girl swears a lot.
Violence and intense scenes. The film is pretty dark and very violent. It's the darkest movie of this franchise and of the Heroes trilogy. Sammie, you're at 4, Tyler at 0, Marty at -2, Doug at -3. Hopefully we can make this a little easier. I guess we'll see.
I don't know, Logan.
You're in control.
I'm only in control to a point.
I think he's randomizing this.
Yeah, the list is random. And yes, I can try to jump through this list and try to be like, what are some easier movies in this list? But it really slows the game down. All right. Well, we are nearing the end. We have one more go around, 4 movies left, one more for each of you. Doug, you get first pick. Would you like a movie from 1962, 1990, or 2014?
I'm going to stick with the good old days of grunge. Let's go 1990.
Oh, not 62.
No.
All right. 1990 for 5 points under violence and gore. Blood shown on almost every character.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
For 4 points under frightening and intense scenes, the library scene can be mildly frightening, but it is mostly conceived by many viewers to be hilarious. Marty has a guess. Anybody else? Marty, what do you think this movie is?
Is this the It miniseries from 1990?
Yep, that does count as a movie according to IMDb. This is It by Stephen King.
Nice.
Put me on the board.
Referee.
Wow. Yeah, flag on the play. I didn't guess it because I didn't know who counted. Oh, that's my fault.
Going into this one, I was like, it's weird that we haven't gotten a Stephen King adaptation yet.
Yeah, I was also.
Yep.
We have skipped past maybe 5 Stephen King adaptations, so this is mostly on year picking. Like I said, I can lead you in the general direction of the Stephen King, but I can't make you drink him.
Yeah, I have to like reach. I will never ever wash out the memory of John Ritter making out with Tim Curry as it. Just
No, why
would
cinematic,
you want to?
Yeah.
cinematic masterpiece.
Also in It, under frightening and intense scenes, a girl is in the bathroom and strange demonic noises are heard coming from the sink drain, along with the voice of a boy pleading for her to save him. Frightening and intense scenes, a red balloon ascends from the drain and explodes, splattering raw blood everywhere. And frightening and intense scenes, the movie used to be a TV miniseries from the 90s. So it has a very low budget. Therefore, any gore or blood or monsters/creatures looked very fake and unrealistic, especially the clown's true form at the end of the movie.
I agree 100%.
I also agree that it used to be a miniseries. 3 movies remain. Sammie, you're at 4. Marty, you're back in the positives with 2. Tyler at 0. Doug at -3.
Still a chance.
Still a chance.
Very slim.
Marty, would you like a movie from 1993, 2003, or 2014?
1993.
1993. From 1993 for 5 points, under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, two characters are about to open a bottle of wine, but the man smashes it.
Sounds like a waste.
Mm.
Is it like the man as in a man or the man?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, the police come in. And one of them just...
Yeah.
For 4 points, under sex and nudity, a husband and wife kiss and caress on a hotel bed. She has a top and panties on during the scene. The next morning, she wakes naked in bed, partially covered. Sex is implied. Nudity includes her bare back and bare chest. For 3 points, under sex and nudity, a man asks a woman why the real reason she came was, and her reply is, quote, "We're just going to fuck." Doug has a guess. Anybody else? Doug, what do you think this movie is?
I'm taking a really, really long shot. Is it Indecent Proposal?
Not that long of a shot. It's a book by Jack Engelhard. This is Indecent Proposal.
Nice.
Yes. Yay, I'm up to 0.
Yeah, this second half of the game is really good. Also an indecent proposal under frightening and intense scenes. Some scenes can be very emotional since a couple are always arguing and they nearly divorce. And sex and nudity, a husband and wife lie in bed discussing whether to accept the offer of $1 million for her to sleep with another man. In the scene, they are naked with a sheet covering them, and one of the women's breasts can be seen in a couple of shots. No parallel male nudity for the female audience.
Same person going through.
Sorry, ladies.
Unplanned. I don't know how this pops up in 2 different movies tonight.
It's okay.
Oh,
that
sure.
person's probably on a watch list. And
They're working real hard.
Yeah.
God,
I wish you could.
that's gonna be the one you can finally get on this show, Nick.
I wish you could see what other, like, you could see what warnings one person writes, because I want to see what movie they're like, plenty of male nudity for the female audience.
You can do that on Amazon. I just found out recently, and it's fucking wild. Seeing like the specific like purchase history of one person is so much information, and I love it. It's too much power.
Well, 2 movies remain. Sammie, you're at 4, Marty at 2, Doug and Tyler both at 0. There's still 10 points on the board, so this can go to anyone if you want to try it. Sammie, you get to pick this one. Would you like a movie from 1999, 2003, or 2017?
99.
99. All right, we're going with another 99 movie. For 5 points under frightening and intense scenes, there is some very creepy piano music that plays during tense moments of the film.
Oh.
I swear to God.
This is 99, right?
99.
Yeah.
For 4 points under 6 and nudity, a woman undresses in front of a mirror. Full frontal nudity is shown in the mirror, but it's blurry and brief.
Well, I've seen movies with both of these things in it. So
Creepy pianos and full frontal nudity, but none necessarily for the female audience.
He's back again.
For 3 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, casual drinking happens throughout a high-class party. Tyler's buzzed in. Anybody else? Tyler, what do you think this movie is?
This Eyes Wide Shut.
By a book by Arthur Schnitzler called Traum Novelle. This is Eyes Wide Shut.
Wow.
Fun fact, that guy also invented schnitzel.
That is a fun fact. Also in Eyes Wide Shut, under frightening and intense scenes, one character is followed, watched, and spied on throughout the dark and nearly abandoned streets of New York City. And Sex and Nudity, lengthy orgy scene with male buttock and buttock / frontal female nudity. Penetration obscured and genitalia not seen due to camera angles and object / observers.
Sorry,
Nothing
ladies.
for the women. Again.
A little something for all fondlers. And Eyes Wide Shut.
A little step. Is that
You
the
could have said that
tagline of the
anyway.
movie?
that's a great tagline.
Yeah.
Is that in the that's in the voiceover of remember those?
One movie remains. Sammie is at 4. Tyler is at 3. Marty is at 2. Doug is at 0. It really comes completely down to this question. Anybody can win. Tyler, you get to pick the year.
Oh.
Would you like a movie from 1998, 2002, or 2010?
Let's do 2010.
2010. Last movie of the night from 2010 for 5 points under Sex and Nudity. Sloppy seconds are mentioned a few times.
Huh.
For 4 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. A man says that dating a woman is like doing drugs. He then says that he doesn't do drugs unless she does drugs. And if she does, he does drugs all the time.
I know that quote.
I know that quote makes no sense.
For 3 points under violence and gore, 2 characters play a ninja dance revolution type arcade machine. A very brief image of a ninja kicking off another ninja's head, and some blood and gore is flashed. Blink and you will miss it moment. 3 hands shot up, none of them Doug's. This might end the game. I feel like it will. Sammie, what do you think this movie is?
Is this Scott Pilgrim?
Marty, what do you think this movie is?
I was also going to guess Scott Pilgrim.
Tyler, what do you think?
Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I'm the only one who said the entire movie title.
I know, but especially in this game, I cannot make that a punishment for anyone else. Based on the graphic novels by Brian Lee O'Malley, this is Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Continuing my streak, I was convinced I was wrong, because that's always when I'm right.
No, it was the other movie from 2010 with the Ninja Dance Revolution machine.
Yeah, Warhorse.
Warhorse, yep.
Well, let's wrap this up.
Argo?
The other clues in Scott Pilgrim's Sex and Nudity, the band is named Sex Bob-omb, a reference to the Bob-ombs in Nintendo's Mario Brothers and the Tom Jones song. And violence and gore, stylized hyperkinetic action. When people are defeated, there is no blood, since they become coins. All fights are comic, with words like thud or kapow. When someone is hits a wall, etc., it's meant to resemble a comic or video game. That is Scott Pilgrim versus the World. This was Inappropriate Movie Database. Our final scores tonight. Doug at 0, Marty at 5, Tyler at 6, Sammie taking this game at 7 points. Sammie the winner tonight.
I think 7 is usually what the 3 times I've won with. I think it's been.
This game is broken. People can get 20-something points and not win, and Sammie can keep winning with 7. It's a bad game, but I have so much fun doing it.
I will say if I had gotten that that first one where it was
is this my third or fourth win?
Good question. I can actually answer that. That is your third win.
Okay.
There you go.
And your 21st time on the show.
Whatever.
I don't want to hear how many wins I've had because I don't want to be sad.
Well,
one.
I just want to go back to Marty. You were saying that at the was it the Andover YMCA they didn't allow 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes, because there was a brief time period after the movie came out where people kept putting it in a little free library outside. Because people would, it's not really a book you read more than once. So we had to make a rule that you couldn't put any books that were not, I forget how they phrase it, something like book club material.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But like one of the main characters' name is Christian, so shouldn't that
so many book clubs read that book.
Yeah.
So many book clubs read that book.
Yep.
That makes no sense.
Follow-up fun fact, that's why the Methuen YMCA's little free library is only children's books.
I thought you were going to say is only 50 Shades of Grey.
We sent them all
you
to the
imagine?
they shipped them over to him.
All right.
Overnight.
Let's wrap this up. If there is anything you want to promote, anywhere you want to be found, any last words? We'll start with 3-time winner Doug Fitzgerald. Doug, do you have anything?
I like the number 3, so I plan on continuing only winning 3 times in my history of this game ever. So we'll keep it at that. Follow me on social media down below, and for shows and stuff that I'm doing. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram, where I also try to make Tucker Carlson cry on a daily basis with my insults.
It's an admiral goal.
Maybe it's a horrible goal.
How about 3-time winner Marty? Do you have anything you want to tell me?
Are you serious? Sure. I'm in Minneapolis. Come find me. I'm looking for friends. It's summer, so I have serotonin.
They're the only person wearing a Boston hat.
Listen, I'm not gonna say it a third time in a week, but I'm looking for friends. Come be my friend. I really need more self-esteem. A kid told me I looked like an oddly dressed cop today, and I'm still not over it. One of the most hurtful things I've ever been told by a child. If you're not in Minneapolis, I bake things on Instagram at madeby.marty. I'm bad at posting, and every time I'm on the show, I say I'm going to get better at that, and then I don't. But I bake things, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. I won't say how many times you've won. Tyler, do you have anything you want to tell people?
I believe it's one time. And I host an open mic in Boston, Massachusetts every Wednesday. It's at the Model Cafe, and the sign up goes out at 6. And somewhat similar to Marty, I'm in Brookline, Massachusetts. If anyone wants to come find me and become my enemy, that's
Hell yeah.
I've got your address. I'm just waiting for a good time to dox you.
Yeah, we'll meet up on the quad and we'll just go at it. Yeah.
Slap fight.
I would like to add another note to my message that I'm also in the market for enemies. So.
Can I ask which side of that list am I closer to right now?
For me?
Yes.
You're my friend,
Okay.
and I like you a lot.
Oh, I needed that. I'll work harder to ruin this.
I remember you saying, though, that if they want to be your enemy, they have to go to St. Paul to do that, though, right?
True.
Get across the...
I can introduce you to some enemies, Marty.
Excellent.
If you want to be my enemy, you have to fight with my friends.
Very wholesome of you.
A pain pushing the back of my head to get that out. Finally, our winner.
I'm mad because I was also doing that. I was like, you asshole! It was right here. I was gonna sing it too.
It's never too late. You are.
No, I'm not gonna punish you for not letting me sing by making you hear me sing.
Sammie, is there anything you want to tell the people to look at?
You can follow me on all social media at Sammie James. I run 3 monthly shows. I need to stop. This Saturday is The Waiting Room, which is all health and healthcare comedy and storytelling, and it is a fucking fantastic lineup. If you got nothing going on, and even if you do, cancel those family plans. Okay, just because 7 p.m. Eastern on Zoom, get the tickets on Eventbrite. You get to see me host Dahlia Bell, Gianmarco Ceresi, Michelle Carlo, and Katie Zane. It's a great lineup. We're all talking, and Asher O'Brien. You're all fantastic. He was a late addition. 2 weeks ago, but shut up. Okay, no, it's a great show. It's all health and healthcare, comedy and storytelling, and I do other stuff, but I'm tired.
Well, thank you all so much for doing this. This episode was such a delight. Once again, Doug Fitzgerald, Sammie James, Tyler Durniak, Marty Viscosi. I'm Nick Martucci. You can find me on all social media at Blundering Idiom. Find the show on Facebook, search Inappropriate Movie Database, or click the link in the description of this video. Twitter and Instagram at IMDb Game. We do this show 2 times a week, Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here. So subscribe to this channel, like this video, do whatever YouTubers tell you to do. If you want to be on the show, reach out. I would love to have you on the show. We're going to keep this going as long as people keep agreeing to do it. I continue to have so much fun. It's the highlight of my week. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching.